Hello website friends, Pauline here, and today I would like to show you a powerful but not very well known technique for you to get lots more out of your Carrd website. Now, Carrd advertises itself as a one-page site builder, but in fact what many people don't notice is you can easily ask Carrd to make your website show up as multiple pages. You'll see in several of the sites that I design for clients that, in fact, rather than having everything on one main page, the website breaks into different pages, and that helps keep your homepage much tidier. So that can mean that you'll have different pages for your services and how to contact you, or if you sell online courses or you offer consulting, you can break all these topics down into different pages. It's very powerful. It's a really nice use of Carrd, and many people don't know that you can do this. So, how to go about setting up your website in Carrd to show separate pages. From the Carrd main screen, when you choose a starting point, one of the choices that's presented to you is sectioned. And sectioned basically means that even though Carrd is actually a one-page site, it will pretend or simulate that you've got multiple pages by only showing certain parts of your content at certain times. So from this front screen here of sectioned, you've got the opportunity to choose different templates to help you with this. For example, if I choose this one here, then Carrd goes ahead and sets up for me a very simple website with a home page, about page, and a contact page. Now, what's really important to notice here is that you will get these breaks running horizontally across your work area. And in fact, down here where we would like the live website to switch from the home page to the about page, you'll see that a break is in play here. It's a section break, and it's been given the name about. So over here on the actual break itself, it shows up as #about. And then when I want to navigate there from, for example, buttons at the top, I want to make sure that the about section is indeed referenced with the URL #about. So that's vitally important. I could, for example, change this button so that I'm offering people my bio, but the name of the section #about and the actual link then underneath that bio button, they must match up. And hopefully it's obvious to you that this section break is a critically important part of the structure that makes your pages. So please don't go and delete that or mess around with that. This won't show up on your finished site, but it is very important for your site structure. Let's take a look at another example here. So I have a demonstration site ready for you, and sections here include the home page, about, events, which you can see are referenced as #events. And sure enough, when I scroll down here, here is the relevant section. It's a section break, and it's been named with that same event's name. So even though the top of the page says news and events, even though at the top here I might want to call it something else entirely, the point that's vital here when you set up your pages is you'll want these section breaks, and the names must match the navigation. And that's how we end up with some very nice websites with these individual pages. Here, for example, we have a total of 6 pages. I wouldn't recommend that you add more than about 5 or 6 pages to your website in this way. Carrd does not currently support drop-down menus. So you will be working with one button per page. And that means if you try to add too many pages and too many buttons, then your navigation is going to get clumsy. For this author, in fact, I worked around that because she has a number of books on different topics. So for each of her book topics, we actually created custom graphics which link to the relevant page on her website. So here, for example, here's the main books page, and then each of these graphics links to an individual page. And that introduces some navigation and helps the site visitor get oriented without cluttering up the main website navigation with too many buttons. Now, on that note, here's a tip. Be careful if, for example, you choose this template in Carrd. This is one of the sectioned templates that's available to you. It's obviously very nice, and it's already set up so that there are sections or pages, as you might want to think of them, for these different headings. This one is called Work. There's one down here, another About page about the team. But what's interesting in this template is the navigation buttons on the home page take you to the individual pages that you might want to explore. But then when you arrive on, for example, the Work page, there will be some information added here about the work that this team does, and then Carrd only actually gives you a back button. Now, I suggest that is not ideal practice and not a good experience for your site visitor. I would prefer it, and your visitors will arguably prefer it, if you provide navigation for them on every page. Now let's look at the easiest way to do that. I'm coming back here to this demonstration site that I work with for you. And you'll see that there's a special type of section break here called header. So when you're working with sections in Carrd, you have a choice as to whether you've got a type of section break, which will start a new page. Let me show you the other options. Scroll point we won't talk about today, but you've got header marker and footer marker. And in Carrd, anything that you place above one of these special controls called a header marker, so in this case, the buttons that you see here, anything that you place here in this section will show up on every one of your pages. So that is the easiest way and the most elegant way to get this effect here, where regardless of which page I click on the website, I hang on to my navigation buttons at the top. You'll see that here on this attorney's contact page. Because these buttons are placed in the header, they stay and they are available to your website visitor on every page. Since we've talked about headers, I will mention the footer very briefly. Let's scroll all the way down. And a very similar story, that anything that you place after this special type of control called a footer marker, that means that this content will appear at the bottom of your website and is there on every single page. So in this demonstration website, all I have in fact are some social media icons, but let's take a quick look. We'll take a look quickly at this author and speaker and consultant. And in fact, on her website, she has more information in her footer. She has some social media, her logo, her copyright notice, her privacy policy, and her lead magnet to invite people to claim a free book when they join her newsletter list. So that is a really powerful use of having a footer. And I encourage you to think about on your website what makes sense to include in your footer section. Once again, you'll need a special control called footer marker. And even more importantly, probably, what should go in your header to help with your site branding and your visitor site navigation. Okay, so that is a quick overview of making pages in Carrd. It's a really nice way to give your visitors a consistent experience on each page, provide some navigation, and prevent them from getting lost on your website. That's it from me for today. Again, if you'd like to find out more about how I can create your entire website for you, you can find me at paulinewiles.com, and I'd be very happy to talk. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy exploring Carrd, and I'll see you next time.